Pretty good, pretty good. Thanks so much for taking the time out today to join this discussion. I know we had some scheduling snafus on my end, so my apologies before we even started the discussion.
No worries at all. I appreciate you, carrying this because anything that raises awareness to fire safety is going to save lives. So thank you.
Oh no, you're most welcome. Because fire safety, life safety, it all comes into play. And I tell you, I'm troubled like you because I'm a dad, and some of the things that go through my mind at nighttime is, okay, is the family safe?
Of course.
What do I need to do to safeguard my family? So before I go to sleep, I'm not sure about you, if there's any candles that are lit or, outlets that, iPad or Apple or, Android devices plugged into outlets. I'm unplugging them. I do. And my wife thinks I'm just a maniac. She's just like, what are you doing? I'm like, hey, I'm just doing a sweep.
Well, I'll tell you, I know all the statistics, so it's always on my mind because I know where you're most likely to have a problem. I can't tell you how many times in the morning I turn on my coffee machine and go back in 10 minutes, and it's because I unplugged it the night before.
Right.
It's like, oh, damn it, So, but you're better safe than sorry. And again, that's really where we come in with our system approach. Is we know where fires begin. We know the highest risk locations in every home, and that's what our products solve that problem. We place our sensors right in harm's way, right where we know fires begin. So whenever you're ready, let me know, and I'll go right into to what we do.
So Mark, definitely, I will decrease and allow you to increase, because that was my first initial question was, tell me about safer alarms. Tell our listeners about safer alarms. And also, more importantly, tell us about where do fires start? Like, what are some things that we should do? What are some tips? I hate to use the word tips and tricks, but what should parents know that will work for them best? Because in their minds, well, I'll speak for myself. Okay, so I have my alarm system. Okay, an alarm system does various monitoring. And it comes with a smoke detector. So if I wasn't in the tech world, I would say, okay, I'm good. I have nothing to worry about. I have a third-party company doing XYZ, and I could just close my eyes. But, being tech savvy, that, hey, I got to walk through. I got to make sure things are unplugged. I got to make sure, hey, if this is a faulty outlet, I got to address it. So tell us about safer alarm, and tell us about your data, and tell our listeners your story.
So what we did is for 50 some odd years, we've been detecting the derivative of fire, but it's the smoke that kills it. So with our products, for the first time, why risk inhalation when now you don't have to? The reason smoke, fires don't begin in the middle of the ceiling in the hallway. They begin in the electrical, at the outlet. They begin in the kitchen. They begin in the laundry room. Well, you're not, according to the OSHA and building codes, you're not supposed to place traditional smoke detectors in laundry rooms and bathrooms because humidity levels affect the nature of the sensors. Well, what we did was we used a temperature sensor that detects the heat itself at the highest risk locations in every home. You're allowed to place us right at the outlets themselves. And I'm talking about the outlets that have power strips, whether it's behind the desk in your home office where you've got your Wi-Fi, your modem, your computers, all of these IoT products, Internet of Things products require charging, whether it's your laptop, your iPad, iPhone, Samsung Galaxy, whatever it is, that's where they overheat. A lot of these older homes can't handle all of these new gadgets. So everything's plugged in. Everything requires electricity. Those are the places. The basement, you've got a dehumidifier. It's probably an old one, and you plug it. Or in the living room, in your man cave, you plug in grandma's Tiffany lamp that you inherited, and you're scared to death because it's a radial plug, right? So
Yes.
we allow the consumer for the first time to place our sensors right at the source, right in harm's way. And then once we detect that fire event, that rise in temperature, once it gets to that critical Fahrenheit degree, which is 150 degrees, we know there's a fire there, whether it's in the wall and there's no smoke yet, we know that that's an event. And we immediately, in a nanosecond, send our signal to our remote alarm, which is in that safe traditional location. So as a system, we keep sounding the alarm even after our sensor unit's destroyed in that fire. Some of these electrical fires are very, very hot, very, very fast, and they spread. And,
right.
And if you're upstairs asleep and that dehumidifier is downstairs in the basement and you have a battery-only smoke detector, you're not going to hear that. Not until the smoke billows out of the basement, gets to the main floor. Hopefully
Totally.
those, and that's really what we do. We don't replace your smoke detectors, but think about the kitchen. What's the first thing you do Sunday morning when you burn the toast? You take the batteries out of that and you throw it in the drawer. We've all done it, and I've done it.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
And the statistics are staggering. When I say we've all done it, I mean we've all done it. So what our sensor is, you place it, near where you have that crock pot, near where you have the hot plate, near the toaster oven. And if there's a problem in the electrical from those appliances, we're going to gather the heat right away. You could blow cigar smoke at us all day long, nothing's going to happen. So we eliminate those nuisance alarms in the kitchen, and we're still, sending that signal to that remote alarm, which keeps screaming even after this sensor is destroyed. We've got a Christmas-specific product where, believe it or not, you're 3 times more likely to have fires during the Christmas season than any other time of year. And the reason is you're bringing in, whether it's a Christmas tree or even menorahs, these are live candles. And every year, holiday-specific fires occur, and as I said, it's 3 times more likely. So we have this pretty little ornament that's the same color as the tree, so you hide it in your Christmas tree, or to be heard, not seen. You're to be heard, not seen. So that is our sensor. And again, why shouldn't I just place an $8 smoke detector where I have my tree? And the reason is, Christmas trees tend to go up like Christmas trees, right? So they're very, very fast, very hot. That's going to melt that detector before it's effective. It's not going to get you out of the house. It won't do its job. What we do is place a sensor right where we know those fires begin, right in the highest risk location. And then again, we send the signal to our remote, which is in that safe location. So as a system, we meet all building codes. We're going to scream at 90 decibels for the minute and a half required, and we're going to get you out of the house faster. Faster detection is safer detection, safer alarms.
So we're speaking with Marc Toland, from the inventor, chairman, president of Safer Alarms. Marc, got a question. So your device works to complement the standardized smoke detector, devices.
Right.
So tell me this much: when you plug the unit into the wall, and then on top of it, so I guess for our listeners, we can visualize it to work kind of like a smart plug, where you would then, yes or no?
Well, so no. What we've done is most fires begin at that electrical. So what we do is we recommend you find where you have an overloaded plug strip. I've got a 12-year-old daughter. If she has her friends over for a sleepover, I've got 2 full power strips full of every charger you can imagine. If there's an arc or a spark, they're in trouble, right? And that's where you place us. You don't plug us in. We are a battery only, multi-year system, so you don't get that annoying chirp every 6 months.
Okay.
You put the batteries in, and we've got a command strip, so you just stick it to the wall right above the outlet that you know is at high risk.
Oh, so it's not actually being plugged into the outlet.
You're not using one of the outlets itself. We're not.
Oh, okay.
So we don't add to the power draw.
Okay, gotcha.
We're going to detect it. So we're going to, and that's the thing. If you've got a fire in your wall, by the time the smoke billows out and gets to the hallway to the detector, it might be too late. That room is ablaze. So we're going to get it at the heat right there. And then we send our signal to the remote alarm, which, as I say, is in a traditional safe location where you know you're going to hear it. So even if there's a fire from the basement, you know, you've got your remote alarm right above the doorway in mom and dad's room.
So I do have a question for you. Let's just say for our viewers or our listeners that are the owner of like townhouses, and let's say they have 3 floors, do you give the option for multiple appliances where you can, you know, so basically I'm concerned that, hey, something's happening on the 3rd floor, but whomever is sleeping on the 1st floor,
right?
How are they to hear that? Do you make that option available? Is that additional?
Yes.
I mean, tell us about that.
No. So we also have a 4-in-1 standalone system. It's battery only. So, you know, the 4 most likely places in a home. But then if, let's say you've got a 5-story walk-up, 1-bedroom apartment in New York City, you know, the building manager or the landlord can say, hey guys, just put these in. I need all of you to put this in. Here it is. And then that remote can, you know, eventually what we'll do is for building management type things, to answer your question, our next generation, which is coming out end of 2nd quarter, early 3rd quarter, will be addressable. So if you have a central station or you have a monitoring system already, we simply we interface or connect with that wirelessly, and then that system becomes the alarm. So you place our sensors all over that building, wherever you want them. You know, old Mrs. Jones in 4B still smokes, and God forbid she falls asleep, right?
Yeah.
So we got you right there, right at that source. And again, you know, faster detection is safer detection.
That is so true. Hey, is there down the road, or like I'm thinking more on the lines with strategic planning with safer alarms, is there like a mobile app that's going to be coming out to complement your hardware device?
Well, of course, and that's really the future of these, you know, smart homes. And one of the things we say all the time is it's not enough to just be a smart home anymore. You need to be a safer smart home. So we built this system to you know, be addressable. So we want to be able, and you know, we've made it affordable. We're less expensive than other wireless dual products or multi-unit products. We're not going to get into the monitoring end of things, not yet anyway. We'll cut deals. We'll cut deals with those existing players. And in this industry right now, these are the big boys, and they've got, you know, 30, 40 million households. So if we can add our sensors to their family of products, you know, we'll let, and you, let's say you use ADT. I'm just using their name. Everybody knows them. So let's say we were able to offer their customers, or they offer their customers our sensor. You know, that's great. And we're, you know, not only are we going to be everywhere you shop retail, but we also want to be able to wholesale this to the people that are already in that business, because my thing is, the more units of these sold, the more lives are saved. And if they're already there, they're already in the market, they've already got those 10 million households. Well, then let them offer to their customers directly, or buy it on my website. Once we are able to cut that deal at the wholesale level and license it out to those players, that's really the holy grail for us, because you're right. You want to make sure that, hey, I'm out of town. My something happened. There was a short, a blackout. They turned the grid back on, and boom, my house went on fire. I'm not there. I live in a rural area. Well, we just called the fire department. They're on their way. So those are the kind of things. Those are the kind of things that you really have to address, and our products will be able to tie in to those monitoring companies.
So give me, it sounds like you have a plethora of products. So give me, I guess, a price range for...
Sure.
A different future starts with you. That's why GoDaddy does more than help you find a name. You can create, sell, and get found online, so any small business can make a change. We need a new generation of thinking, your way of thinking. Start different at GoDaddy.com.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
As I said, we'll be shipping in April.
Okay.
We have pre-orders now. You can go to our website, SaferAlarmsInc.com, and you can pre-buy now, beat the Christmas rush, and then we're going to be launching. So we'll be shipping to consumers in April, and we're going to use Amazon, obviously, and then we'll start to use the brick and mortar retailers as well. We've got great traction and great interest to be carried at a lot of these major retailers. And what the price, so our price point is for the one-to-one system. So you get your one sensor, your one alarm, let's say for your laundry room or your kitchen. That'll retail MSRP at $69.99. And then the Christmas product, which is the pretty little ornament you hide in the tree, and then you have the same remote. Again, that's $69.99. And then the deal of the century is the all home-in-one, 4-in-1 safer home alarm system, and that's $149.99 MSRP.
Hey, before I get out of here, question: what's the? I guess if you can come up with the top 3 tips for fire protection or fire safety that parents need to know.
Is number one, and that's one of the things that I love about doing these type of interviews, is even if you don't want to buy our products and you think your smoke detector's enough, maybe this just reminds somebody to change the batteries in that old smoke detector, because that is enough to save lives. And that's your number one tip. Make sure your detectors are operable, period. And you can do it every, one of the things we recommend is you do it when you change the clocks. So you're doing it twice a year. That's the first and foremost important thing. And then the second is, make sure those plug strips, unplug them when you can. Don't leave them. Yeah. You don't just leave them in. You've got something behind your television with 50 things plugged in, and you never unplug it. That's a problem. Right. You're gonna get dust bunnies back there. You're gonna get use when you're taking them in and out. They get loose. That causes an arc. Those are your dust bunnies. So what we talked about earlier is, if you're not using an appliance every day, if it's something that you use once or twice a month, unplug it when you're not using it. That's a very, very important tip. And the other is make sure make sure that you're up to code with the carbon monoxide and smoke and that type of thing.
We're speaking with Marc Toland from Safer Alarms. Website is SaferAlarmsInc.com. Marc, tell our listeners about the best ways to find you on social media. Plug your website again.
Sure. So we're just launching now. It's been the 5-year overnight success, right? These are life safety devices, so they have to do exactly what they say. So we just received the final testing from the third-party laboratory. So we'll have our UL standard, which is Underwriters Laboratory. That's our holy grail to be able to launch. and we just received that. So we just launched the website last week, and we are going to have a presence on social media. We're doing a big PR push and media campaign, which you're one of our first. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And yeah, so you can start looking us up, and you can see our progress.
That was wonderful. Marc, I want to thank you for, as I said before, for taking the time out to tell us, to educate us on safer alarms, and we will definitely be in touch in the future.
I can't thank you enough. Thank you.